I saw this question posted on someone's account today asking about what was your scariest seizure that you had. Um, and for me, I mean, if you go and you can look in my stories and see what that was like, or go back and look in my previous posts and see what that was for me. As far as the scariest experience I've had with the seizure. I've had quite a few different ones that have been fairly. They've been pretty scary. Not during, obviously, because I'm unconscious. I don't know what's happening or anything. But after the fact, looking back on it and realizing how it could have been a lot worse. Um, so I was going to talk about one of those. I was out four wheeling once on my own. This is, 15, 16 years ago or something. And I was in like a dried up riverbed and just riding around, riding back and forth for the day or whatever. And I had my phone with me, and then after a while, I would call my brother. He'd come pick me up. I'd done it a couple times, and then so I was riding for a while, and there was a place where there was some kind of deep water, and so I was messing around, and I went through it, and when I did, my phone went down into the water too, and this is before waterproof phones, so my phone was done at that point. And so yeah, it was not working anymore. Um, and but I'm like, well, it's already done, so I'm just gonna keep riding, and we'll figure out the rest afterwards. So I kept riding, and um, later on, I found a place where there were some like jumps and stuff that were built into this dried up riverbed. And so I was riding. There were some other guys there riding on like dirt bikes and stuff. And so I was riding kind of not with them, but near them for a while. Um, and uh, hitting jumps and stuff with my four wheeler. And the next thing I know, I wake up in the hospital. Um, and I had a seizure. Um, Now, obviously, I had no knowledge of that or anything. Um, but the guys that I had been riding by had seen me. I had fallen off my ATV. I had a helmet on, and honestly, I didn't get hurt at all. But when I went back and like thought about it afterwards, and I was like, I was riding alone. I had ridden through water that was deep enough that even like standing on my ATV, it it got up to where my ATV was essentially submerged, but I just rode through it really fast. It didn't mess up my ATV or anything. And uh, if I had had the seizure at that point and fallen off my ATV, I would have drowned. Um, no questions asked. It would have been done. Um, if I had had it at any point while riding by myself, um, there's no telling really what could have happened. Um, but when I had the seizure, I was actually stopped, and I had stepped off of my four wheeler for a little while, and was doing so. I don't remember exactly. This is a long time ago, but I don't remember exactly what I was doing. So when I had it, I didn't fall that far except from standing onto the ground. So I didn't even fall off of my ATV. Um, and so the guys that were near me called, they called 911. And then I forget, I had a medical alert bracelet on at that point. And so they got my brother's phone number off of there, and they called him and told him where I was, and he came and picked up my four wheeler and stuff. And But anyway, so I went back and looked afterwards at I had my helmet that I had been wearing, and the whole face shield on it was completely destroyed. I mean, completely scratched up. And if I hadn't had that on, if I hadn't had my helmet on when I had fallen, that would have been my face in the ground in gravel. That would have just been like completely raked across the gravel and destroyed. Now, I'm not making any money with this face, but still, just to um, see that after the fact is, um, and think about all the things that could have happened. That's one of the times that I'd had a seizure that going back afterwards, I was like, that's a scary experience